My name is Brenda Taylor, and I would like to welcome you to the 20th Annual People's Choice Awards. This year is definitely unique in so many ways. Usually, we would be gathered in the 1112 auditorium and would have you walk onto stage while Mr. Strout read what your teachers have said about why they have nominated each of you. That is the moment you would find out who nominated you. Due to the circumstances, we were unable to do it that way this year, but we felt very strongly that each and every one of you should receive this honor and your moment in the spotlight. The faculty and staff have given us their nominations, and with the help of my co-chair, Mrs. Hall, and Mr. Strout, we were able to put together an amazing tribute to all of you. I will now turn over to Mrs. Hall to explain a bit about exactly why these awards are given and how you were nominated.
Hi, I'm Leanne Hall. I'd like to welcome you to People's Choice. A little bit about what this award means. Students are nominated for a variety of reasons. Staff selects students because they have made an impression on them in some way. And with remote learning, obviously, it's a lasting impression. We are proud of you. We're proud of your accomplishments. We want to recognize you, and we miss you. We look forward to seeing you again. So welcome to People's Choice. Typically, at this point in our program, we would have our Air Force Junior ROTC cadets, color guard, present the colors, but we'll just have a picture of them to represent. And we are going to have our national anthem sung by Cade Padilla.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
Well, welcome everyone to this year's People's Choice Awards ceremony. It certainly isn't the way we had hoped to honor our amazing students, but we are so proud of you nonetheless. Despite the distance that is between us, we hope that you are understanding of the difficulty and you know how much we appreciate and respect all that you do to make our school the great place that it is. I want to thank Mrs. Taylor and Mrs. Hall for helping to put together this ceremony during these unprecedented times. And I want to once again welcome you to this year's People's Choice Awards. And now we'll begin with our ceremony.
I nominated senior Zach Andrews. I'm sorry and thank you have been two things I've said to Zach more times this year than I've ever said to any other student. There are not many words that I can kind of form to accurately depict what Zach means to me. His humor, strange taste in food, and open conversation have been the bright spot in a really crazy year for me. Zach is one of the most caring students I've ever had the joy of coming into my classroom. He constantly checks in on me. He knows when I'm stressed and knows exactly what to say to either push my buttons or make me laugh. We could go on about his academic and athletic accomplishments for a long time, but that's not what makes Zach so amazing. It's 100% his heart. I'm truly going to miss laughing at, laughing with, and seeing Zach on a daily basis. He's made a lasting impression, not just on the classroom, but on my life. I know his future is bright, and I can't wait to see what he does. Congratulations.
Noelle is simultaneously the most thoughtful and sassiest kid I've ever met. She has a giant heart, and she's one of the most generous souls on the planet. And I have enjoyed every single visit, every single ceramic snowman, and every snarky laugh we've shared these past 2 years. What I think not everyone realizes about Noelle is that she also possesses a quiet strength. She spent her senior year making other people smile, while she's been enduring an emotional roller coaster ride of her own at home. And she's done so in such a dignified and graceful way that I am in awe of it all the time. Noelle puts other people first. She asks how you're doing. She checks in on other people. She deflects, and she makes other people the important part of the conversation. But Noelle, your well-being matters. Your issues are not less significant than anyone else's, and you are loved. I will miss you, and I am in your cheering squad from now until forever.
Emma Avis was nominated by Mrs. McDaniels. In her nomination, Mrs. McDaniels writes, Emma is a remarkable young lady who takes pride in everything she does. She is an excellent student and is involved in numerous school activities. She is always willing to help others, and regardless of what type of day it is, Emma is always smiling. As with many of our students, Emma has had her share of the challenges, but Emma handles all of them with amazing perseverance and a positive attitude. Emma is so pleasurable to be around.
Paige is just an amazing young woman. She always handles herself with maturity and dignity and is a light no matter what the situation. She once told me that she never won any awards in high school, and if it was up to me, I would give her every single one. She is just as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside, and I can't wait to see how she shines her light in this world.
I am nominating Jacob Boyle for this year's People's Choice Award in recognition of your helpfulness, kindness towards others, dependability, and impeccable work ethic during the past few years working on the student technology team. The tasks assigned to you were consistently done efficiently, accurately, and without complaint, even though much of the work was not fun. You played a critical role in prepping for things like our one-to-one distribution on a tight timeline, and serving the high school staff and students by completing repairs, as well as in our other district schools when there was a great need. While you had to endure some difficult challenges, you always did so with great maturity, continuing to smile and to be the positive person you are.
Zoe Brooks was nominated by the 11-12 main office secretaries, Mrs. Gerace, Mrs. Hargraves, Mrs. Norris, and Mrs. Rosensteel. In their nomination, they write, the 11-12 main office has been very fortunate during the 2019-2020 school year to have an extraordinary student worker. Zoe is with us first thing in the morning, always cheerful and willing to assist with answering the switchboard, monitoring the front door, checking IDs, and when necessary, handling the change of class music. Should chaos arise, Zoe's gentleness calms the storm. She is always pleasant, professional, and keeps confidentiality a priority. She accepts the job with a smile on her face and brings a breath of fresh air into our office with her humor and unique personality. Mature, conscientious, and dependable only begin to describe what a wonderful young woman she is. Our sincere love and thanks, Zoe, for all that you do. Ronnie Bush was nominated by Mrs. Abby Malotsky. In her nomination for Ronnie, Mrs. Malotsky writes, Ronnie Bush is a wonderful young man. I've gotten to know him in my English class this year. He works very hard and consistently wants to do well. He is the strong, silent type, but he is on fire when working in class or doing homework. He doesn't miss. Even now, he sends in his work while working full-time at a market. I know Ron has had some challenges, but he doesn't dwell. He is a mover and a shaker and sees a positive future for himself. I think Ron is an amazing kid, and I'm lucky to have been his teacher.
Dana, also known as Soup, 4 years in junior ROTC. Wow, I've watched you grow into a mature woman who has a heart of gold. You have overcome many challenges and continue to push forward and work hard. You made me a better person, teacher, and mom. I will miss you next year, but Junior ROTC will always be a place you can call home.
Madison Canino was nominated by Mr. Andrew Holmes. In his nomination for Madison, Mr. Holmes writes, I am nominating Madison Canino for the People's Choice Award for many reasons. Madison is a quiet and humble student who flies under the radar most days in class. I was lucky to have the opportunity to teach her an AP chemistry during her junior year. Madison came to class each day prepared for class and ready to learn. Her quiet and reserved nature meant I didn't get to know her as quickly as other students. However, over time, I was consistently impressed with her work ethic and appreciation for teacher efforts. AP Chemistry has its challenges, and Madison often used time after school with me for extra instruction, practice, and test preparation. She deserves recognition for her fortitude and commitment to education. I was very proud of Madison when she earned a qualifying score on the AP Chemistry exam. Madison, you deserve this People's Choice Award because of your strong character and commitment to achieving your academic goals.
Hi, my name is Leanne Hall, and I'm nominating Alyssa Connor and Rich Santos for People's Choice. I've had Alyssa for 2 years, last year for chem, this year for forensics. Rich I've only had this year, but I feel like I've known him my whole life. I enjoy seeing the two of them head over to me during lunch periods to have one of our discussions. Politics, environment, genetics, no topic is off limits for our discussions. I love it. I like having students that are passionate about their position, not afraid to defend it, open-minded enough to hear other people's opinions and to change their worldview. And I hope that we can continue our discussions in the future. I really miss them. Good job, guys.
Maria Costanzo was nominated by Mrs. Abby Malotsky. In her nomination of Maria, Mrs. Malotsky writes, Maria is a lovely young woman with a strong work ethic and a delightful personality. She always talks to me in class, even when everyone else sits quiet. She is unafraid to speak out and ask questions. I am so proud of her desire to put herself out there in places that are uncomfortable and new. She has really come out of her shell this year. I have loved being her teacher and director in the shows this year. Even in this pandemic, Maria gets on to all my online classes, and I love seeing her face. I am very proud of Maria and can't wait to see what she will do in the future. I nominated Erin Crane for this year's People's Choice Award. Erin, from the moment I met with you and with each interaction thereafter, I've been so impressed with you and all that you do in and around our school. You commit yourself to so many important causes of good, and you just make our school a better and brighter place every day. As you prepare to graduate, I want you to know that you have left our school a better place by you having been here and just by being you. I am so proud of you, and I will miss seeing you every day at school.
I'm Master Sergeant Hood from ROTC, and I nominate Ryan D. John for People's Choice. Ryan, you're always one of the quietest people in the room, but as I get to know you these past few years, I've come to realize that you're also one of the kindest and most dedicated students in the program. Thank you for the example that you set for the underclassmen these past few years in ROTC. I appreciate your leadership more than you realize, and I'm going to miss seeing you in the classroom next year.
I nominated Luca Di Nicola for People's Choice for his outstanding efforts this year. Luca, you made me so very proud with how hard you worked. Please remember to always believe in yourself. Best of luck next year, and I'm going to miss you.
Lauren Faustino was nominated by Miss Renzetti. In her nomination of Lauren, Miss Renzetti writes, Lauren, I nominated you to publicly thank you for absolutely everything you have accomplished during your time here at WTHS. You were my right hand anytime I needed you, and you did it all so effortlessly and always with a smile. You are a diligent student, a responsible and hard worker, both in and out of school, and a positive role model to anyone that you meet, especially to your sister, Nicole. You will be a remarkable educator and will touch so many lives with your natural talents and abilities. I am so incredibly proud of you. I will always be your biggest cheerleader and hope you know I will always be here for you. I wish you the best of everything in your future and expect you to stay in touch. I thank you and I love you, Laura.
Nick is a township legend, and he says things like that out loud. So you might be tempted to believe he's a little bit full of himself, but I can actually attest to the fact that he's one of the sweetest and funniest kids I've ever had the honor of teaching. Nick is quick with a joke. He's willing to own his missteps, even if it takes a couple days. And he's willing to back up and try again to get a thing right. I could count on Nick to come into my classroom every single day with a smile, except during wrestling season, but I had the cure for that. The man has eaten more chewy granola bars than anyone I have ever met in my entire life, but it worked out for both of us. I've celebrated Nick's victories with him. I have listened to him vent his frustrations, and I have watched a pep talk shake him all the way out of a funk. And it is that resilience and his awesome personality that'll be the things to see him through. It's not every day you get to be besties with a legend. Congrats, Nick.
Victoria Fox was nominated by Miss Donna Costa. In her nomination for Victoria, Miss Costa writes, Victoria, by chance I had the privilege to coach you last year as a junior. I immediately saw your character when you led, every day, a very young group of student athletes in such a unique way. Your smile and your positivity never wavered. Your commitment to our program and your basketball family this year has not gone unnoticed. You are truly an inspiration to anyone who put others before self, and you will always be rewarded in ways you haven't dreamed of yet. It was my pleasure to coach you, but more importantly, you now have become just another reason why I do what I do. Best of luck in your future, and remember, we are always here for you.
I have a favorite student. They're kind of like your own children, where you're not supposed to say you have a favorite or you like one more than the other, but I have a favorite student. Her name has been a household name in my home all year. My family hears all of her stories and all the admiration I have for this one high school senior girl. She's been working 2 jobs and going to community school while keeping up with all of her high school studies, and she's really just a person that you want to be around. She'll text you on the weekends to say hi, to share some stories, or even ask for advice. She'll reach out when needed, but the best thing is you can tell she doesn't need the advice. She already has a great role model. I've taught her a lot, and she takes it in like a sponge, and I've learned from her just as much. But Nyasia Graves is my hero on the front lines, and she still does her schoolwork more than most. I look up to this young woman. I appreciate her kindness and her passion for life. I promised her she'll get to walk on a stage this year, even if it's in my front lawn. Nyasia, you will achieve greatness in this world.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Andra Williams, school counselor, and I'd like to select Nick Hammer for the People's Choice Award. Nick has always been an exceptional athlete, but over these last few years, he's grown into an exceptional young man. As a senior, Nick is maintaining honor roll, and he's acting as a leader, a voice of reason among his peers. Nick, I'm so proud of what you've accomplished. When you are pitching in the major league, please don't forget your hometown. I wish you all the best.
Hi, Grace. It's Mrs. Headley. I nominated you for People's Choice Award this year. Of course I did, because you're amazing. Why wouldn't I? You're very intellectual, you're very kind and compassionate. The trait I admire most about you is that you always take time to ask people how they're doing and to make sure that they're okay. And that's wonderful because not everybody does that. We had a lot of laughs over the past few years. It's been so wonderful to get to know you, and I'm excited about your future and your ability to share your gifts with the rest of the world. Continue to be who you are, because who you are is awesome. And what can I say? Who's awesome? You're awesome. You're awesome. You take care.
Sunshine, rainbows, smiley faces, add a Skylar heart emoji to this list. When she was in my class, I always felt like I had someone on my side, And even today, she continues to be one of the most positive people I know. Skylar, you were my People's Choice winner because you continue to amaze me with your sweetness, your kindness, and your caring for everyone you know. May your life always be happy and blessed. Much love, Mrs. Scale.
Scarlett Johnson was nominated by Mrs. Ty and Mrs. Silvestri. In their nomination for Scarlett, they write, "What can we say about Scarlett Johnson? Scarlett has been an incredible student worker for the last 2 years in the counseling office. It has been a privilege to get to know her. Scarlett has greeted us every day with her beautiful smile and her quiet hello. Scarlett is confident, bright, funny, and kind, and we have enjoyed being a part of her journey through WTHS. We are certain that Scarlett will shoot for the stars, reach her dreams, and grace everyone in her path with her ladylike charm. Scarlett, we will miss you."
Hi, I'm Mrs. Andra Williams, school counselor, and I'd like to select Molly Kern as the recipient of the People's Choice Award. Molly is so humble in her accomplishments. She is strong and intelligent and so passionate about each of her interests. Molly stands up for what she believes in, and I've seen her stand up for others when they needed her support. Often she puts the needs of others before her own. Molly is going to make an amazing teacher. Molly, thank you for being you. I hope to someday soon get to call you my colleague. Good luck in all you do.
Ethan Lucas was nominated by Mrs. Tony Silvestri. In her nomination for Ethan, Mrs. Silvestri writes, "It is my pleasure to know Ethan Lucas. Ethan is a kind and caring young man whose genuine and sincere heart bless me every time I see him. When I'm fortunate enough to enter the building with Ethan in the morning, he puts a smile on my face that I wish would last all day. Ethan always has a funny story to share with me and a picture to go along with it. I've watched his latest puppy grow into a dog 10 times the size of mine. That puppy is a lucky dog. I wish Ethan a blessed future filled with the joy and kindness that he brings to the world. Ethan, you have encouraged me in more ways than you know. I will miss you, but I will never forget you."
Hi, my name is Leanne Hall, and I am nominating Chloe Martinez for People's Choice. I've had Chloe for 2 years in a row now on chemistry and forensics. She always pushes herself to be her best. She's not afraid to ask for clarification to make sure she has a complete understanding of what she's doing so she can give it her best shot. And she has set goals for herself that just make me so proud of her. I look forward to see what the future holds for you, Chloe, and I'm glad that we've gotten to know each other. Miss you.
Juliet Martucci was nominated by Miss Paula Barakat. In her nomination for Juliet, Miss Barakat writes, "Juliet is a very kind and responsible student. She is one of the most artistic students I've ever met. Juliet plans to pursue a career in court stenography. I wish you all the best, Juliet."
I'm Master Sergeant Hood from ROTC, and I want to nominate Luke Masney for People's Choice. Luke, I've told you many times that you have a unique gift. You're one of the few students in my 5 years at Township who can actually make me laugh. My students say funny things all the time, but I can usually force myself to hold back the laughter if I want to. With you, I just can't. Thank you for bringing me 4 years of fun and side-splitting laughter. I'm going to miss you next year.
Katie McCusker was nominated by Miss Donna Costa. In her nomination, Miss Costa writes, "Occasionally, as an educator, you meet a student athlete who just can't get out of her way. When I first saw you as a middle school athlete, your potential was screaming athlete. It wasn't until I got to know you the last 4 years that your basketball skills were only the tip of your success story that you are and will continue to become if you follow the trail. What solidified my admiration for your character was when you shared your college choice with all of us. Something close and dear to my heart as we discussed. You will be an outstanding student for Ursinus and lead their basketball program with character and dignity. Your decision to become an educator just exemplifies your love and care for others. Never lose that, Kate. as character will take you on trails you haven't dreamed of yet. I wish you unending success on and off the court and can't wait to see you as an educator.
So during school, Griff always came to class with a big smile and a lot of enthusiasm. Now during remote learning, he's usually the first one to check in and find all the glitches that are going on. So I've really deemed him my teaching assistant. Anyway, so Griff has a great attitude. He's a really great kid, great sense of humor, and congratulations. I miss you. Bye.
Mackenzie Messier was nominated by Mrs. Bradford. In her nomination, Mrs. Bradford writes, "One of the most awesome things about my job is that I get to meet people like Mackenzie. Almost every day from the start, Miss Mackenzie and I would chat about food, of course, cheesecake, family, and life in general. She has a certain wisdom and maturity about her that sets her apart from other students. I enjoyed her kind and pleasant nature, and she is a great cook. She has much to offer the world, and I wish Miss Mackenzie all the best in the future. Love, Miss."
I'm Master Sergeant Hood from ROTC, and this year I nominated Maddie Minchin for People's Choice. Maddie, my great enlisted mentor, Chief Lopez, used to tell me that life is all about balance. I appreciate the way that you're able to balance the work with the fun, even if it sometimes means you're laughing so hard that you quite literally fall on the floor. I'm going to miss you next year. The world needs more people like you to help others laugh and feel good about themselves.
Colton Murray was nominated by Mr. Lindstedt and Mr. Hines. In their nomination for Colton, they write, "Colton has been an integral part of Tech Crew for the past 4 years and comes from a long line of Murrays who have served us well. He has become a teacher of our younger crew members. Colton earned the title of Assistant Master Electrician this school year. He could easily be relied upon to complete a complex task and still have time for some fun. His intelligence and wit is number one. We are honored to have been part of his education. Thank you, Colton. You are amazing." Dominic Natali was nominated by Mr. Lindstedt and Mr. Hines. In their nomination, they write, "Dom has grown in maturity and ability since his freshman year. He has worked diligently on Tech Crew for the past 4 years. His team spirit is top-notch. He has worked hard to become our senior sound engineer. His strength and determination helped lead us to our best productions. We are proud to have been part of his education because he is certainly a part of our lives. Thank you, Dom. You are awesome." Billy Pomerico was nominated by Mr. Schatzman, who writes, "Billy is one of the most unselfish student athletes at Washington Township High School. He is an honor roll student in the classroom, participates in football and wrestling, and he has a blue-collar work ethic and provides positive leadership in athletics as well as in our hallways and around our school."
Yaz and Bree were actually both in my class last year, and so I thought I was just going to have to miss them this year now that they're seniors. But as it turns out, I start out every single morning with their 2 smiling faces and all the energy you could ever want at 7:35 in the morning every single day. As soon as I hear, "Hey sis," I know my day has begun. And whether we're talking about college or snacks or what color Yaz is wearing, I am so fortunate to have these 2 in my life for a second year. They don't walk by without a smile or a wave and shout or a pit stop, even though the smile took a little bit longer to get out of Brie, but we got there. They spend more time looking for one another than any 2 people I've ever met, but it means extra visits for me, so I'm okay with it. And I don't think either of them realizes just how much I'm going to miss them next year. Ladies, keep bringing the energy. You are rays of sunshine, and I can't wait to hear what your next chapter brings.
I am truly honored to have had the chance to teach Ethan this year. He is one of the best writers I have ever taught in my entire career. In fact, he is the best. He has a way with his words that is just beautiful, and he has the ability to touch people's souls with his gift. Not only is he a gifted writer, he is a kind, respectful, and wonderful young person. I can't wait to see how he changes the world.
Liz Rizzo was nominated by Mrs. Bonnet, Mrs. Saponara, and Mrs. Stott. In their nomination, they write, Liz has been our student worker in the core main office and principal's office for the past year, and we couldn't have asked for a more pleasant and dedicated assistant. She comes to work every day with a smile on her face and a willingness to do whatever is needed. More importantly than the daily activities, though, is the joy she brings to all of us. She makes us laugh on a regular basis. Liz is not only funny and highly intelligent, but she's also very kind and considerate of others. She works with our Interact Club to help those less fortunate, and she always works hard at home helping with her younger sister. Liz, we will miss you terribly when you graduate, but the world will gain a wonderful young woman.
I nominated Julia Robinson for People's Choice. Jules, you always manage to bring a smile to my face. I'm going to miss our chats and our laughs. I wish you the best of luck next year.
I taught Kate in multiple classes this year, and every day she would walk in and brighten my day with her smile and her tea that she would share with me. I am so proud of how Kate challenged herself this year and didn't take the easy way out. And I watched her grow, not only as a student, but as a young woman. I miss her, I love her dearly, and I am honored to have taught Kate this year. I can't wait to see what she does with her amazing self.
I nominated senior Sophia Shivo. If you were to ask me 4 years ago where I saw Sophia and I would never imagine that Sophia would be my girl. She grew from a slightly awkward, fast, goofy girl to an absolutely awkward, super fast, goofy, hardworking, dedicated, and amazing young woman. I've enjoyed watching her grow into an incredible leader that says and does all of the right things, even when it's not the cool thing to do. Sophia, thank you for letting me pressure you into applying for the board 2 years ago, but more importantly, thank you for being one of the kindest, most caring people in my life. You have made a difference on the field, within the club, and in my life that will last a long time. I can't wait to watch you continue to grow, see what your future holds, and absolutely kill it at Rowan. Congratulations, Sophia.
Damian Sereni was nominated by Mrs. Beth McIlvaine. In her nomination, Mrs. McIlvaine writes, I'm nominating Damian for this award because he is a very pleasant student. He is conscientious and he is courteous. He would greet and leave the class with a smile and kind words every day. Simon Singh was nominated by Mrs. Carpinelli. In her nomination, Mrs. Carpinelli writes, Simon is on the executive board of the Science National Honor Society. He is always willing to help with any event, project, or anything we need. I've joked that they should change the phrase Johnny on the spot to Simon on the spot because he is that reliable. I've also had the pleasure of teaching Simon for the past 2 years. He has taken some of the most challenging courses the science department offers, and he works to succeed in them, only complaining a little. Simon, I'm so proud of you, and I want you to know that I'll still be here for you after you have graduated. Anthony Saravo was nominated by Mrs. Barbara Ty. In her nomination, Mrs. Ty writes, My nominee for People's Choice Award is Anthony Saravo. I was lucky enough to meet Anthony on his first day of freshman year. He was full of enthusiasm, and that enthusiasm has never waned. It has been a pleasure getting to know Anthony and watching him grow and become the amazing young man he is today. I will miss his polite charm, his smile, his courtesy to others, his care and concern, and his visits to the counseling office. Anthony, I wish you nothing but success and happiness as you begin your next journey in life. It is going to be a bright one for sure. Dylan Thompson was nominated by Mrs. Bradford. In her nomination, Mrs. Bradford writes, Dylan is an exceptional person, so it is appropriate that he is pursuing a career in education. I have really enjoyed getting to know Dylan this year. We share many values and interests, such as the importance of education, food, and music. Dylan has a lot to offer the world. He is interesting, kind, and inquisitive. I wish him all the best for the future. I hope he stays in touch. Bianca Versace was nominated by Mrs. D. Lee. In her nomination for Bianca, Mrs. Lee writes, This nomination is an example of a silver lining found in online learning. Bianca and I sometimes butted heads in class. My class may have been too structured, and had a few too many rules for Bianca. Our relationship has changed completely since we went to online learning. Bianca is always the first to log in and complete the lesson. She lets me know if there is a problem with a link or a video that I'm sending. I really appreciate her help. We also email about our day, what we are watching on TV, favorite restaurants, and meals we are making. Pictures of her homemade pizza look delicious. It is my pleasure to nominate Bianca for a People's Choice Award. She helps me and brightens my day.
For this year's People's Choice Award, I nominate Ethan Wenger. Ethan is a hardworking and intelligent student that is kind to peers and respectful to staff. He works extremely hard and is organized, punctual, and prepared. Ethan's wit and humor brings a smile to all who know him. He is intrinsically motivated to do well and demonstrates focus to achieve his goals. Ethan is the type of student that every teacher enjoys, and he deserves recognition for his perseverance and accomplishments. I can't wait to see what great things Ethan does in the future.
Kenneth Whipke was nominated by Mrs. Jennifer Monaco. In her nomination for Kenneth, Mrs. Monaco writes, "Kenny is just an awesome part of my day. He always offers a warm and kind greeting when I see him each morning by his locker, which is near my classroom, and then again at the end of the day because I have parking lot duty. As a student in my class, he is thoughtful, hardworking, and engaged. He truly makes my class a wonderful experience. I can't say enough wonderful things about Kenny. I hope to have many more amazing students just like him. Thank you, Kenny, for being such an outstanding student, but more importantly, a wonderful human being." Mrs. Lee nominated Ahmed Amber. In her nomination, Mrs. Lee writes, "It is my pleasure to recommend Ahmed Amber for a People's Choice Award. He is hardworking, helpful, and compassionate. Ahmed has set very high academic standards for himself, and he works every day to achieve those standards. Ahmed is a student in my final class of the day. To help me, he gathers up all the calculators and various worksheets that other students have left around the room. He puts the items away, thanks me for the lesson, and wishes me a good day before leaving the classroom. I've witnessed Ahmed's kindness and compassion towards his classmates. He also extended his compassion to me. I remember one afternoon when a few students were not cooperating and one student was disrespectful toward me. I felt a bit discouraged. When the other students left the room, Ahmed told me that I was a good teacher and he was sorry I was treated with disrespect and that I did not deserve that. He made me feel so much better. Ahmed always helped me end my day on a positive note." Amanda Atanasi was nominated by Mrs. Rosalind Gill. In her nomination for Amanda, Mrs. Gill writes, "Amanda, aka Celeste, has a take-charge personality and leadership skills as our on-site student leader with junior achievement. I salute her for all she does to assist us with JA." Mrs. Renzetti nominated Taylor Atanasi. In her nomination, she writes, "Teebs, I nominated you because of how you make me laugh on a daily basis and because you bring me so much joy. You make me smile every single day. You are one of the toughest, kindest, most loving, and most sincere people I know. I knew when I had you in history class as a sophomore and then on my Interact executive board for the last 2 years, we were in for some serious laughs. I want you to remember that I will always be here for you and support you in all that you do. I love you, kid. Don't ever forget it. Love, Ma, Abe."
Hi, my name is Leanne Hall, and I am nominating Gabby DeLuca for People's Choice. Gabby is awesome. I have grown to appreciate her so much. She is always present, always on top of things. She's just done a wonderful job in chemistry this year. She really has pushed herself to excel, and it shows. I'm so proud of her. I'm very glad that I've had her in class and that we've gotten to know each other. And I wish the best for her in the future. Good job, Gabby. Miss you.
I nominated Matt Frazier for this year's People's Choice Award. I've had the pleasure of having Matt in class for the past 2 years. He is always a great student to have him around in class. He's the epitome of a hardworking student. He also works for me for the Washington Township District Printing in the summertime, and I just don't think I've ever had a kid who is as reliable and self-reliant as he is. Just a fantastic kid to be around. He's just really great kid. I know sometimes in other classes he might be quiet, but I love when he starts talking about 80s movies and rock climbing and graphic design, and we have that connection on something outside of the class. And I hope that soon he can get back to climbing, and I'm sure he's gotten his fill of 80s movies in the last couple weeks. But miss you, Matt, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Mr. Schatzman nominated Bryce Kramer. In his nomination, Mr. Schatzman writes, Bryce is a tremendous student athlete. He currently holds a 4.0 GPA and is a member of the Minutemen football program and basketball program. He is a positive role model in our school and community. Bryce has a bright future.
Marcel, you are the carpenter of junior ROTC. You're a problem solver, a builder, furniture designer, wings expert. I could go on. More importantly, you are mature and treat others with respect. I always know work will be done when you're in junior ROTC. Thanks for always making my day brighter. Stay focused, and I'm sure you'll reach all your goals and fly.
Leilani Sanchez was nominated by Mrs. Carol Costello. In her nomination, Mrs. Costello writes, when Leilani walks into a room, she just brightens everyone's day. She is very sweet and helps her fellow students, and is just a ray of sunshine wherever she goes.
For this year's People Choice Award, I nominate Sophia Severino, or Fee. Fee has made tremendous growth as a student at WTHS this year. She has overcome obstacles to have a successful year and has shown perseverance and willingness to change for the better. One motivational quote that reminds me of Fee is, there is only one thing required to change your life, willingness. Another motivational quote that reminds me of Fee is, the will to persevere is often the difference between failure and success. I'm beyond proud of your success this year, Fee.
Gianna Thompson was nominated by Mrs. Beth McIlvain. In her nomination of Gianna, Mrs. McIlvain writes, I am nominating Gianna for this award because she is an attentive student. She would come into class with a smile every day. She is helpful and she is kind. Along with the other qualities I mentioned, she is also conscientious and thoughtful. Mackenzie Connery was nominated by Miss Stephanie Tarashi. In her nomination of Mackenzie, Miss Tarashi writes, I am honored to nominate Mackenzie Connery as my People's Choice recipient. She always comes to class with a smile and is the first one to ask if I need any assistance. I really enjoyed all of our talks about drill team, Air Force Junior ROTC, and her favorite workouts. Kenzie helped make my transition to Washington Township High School meaningful and welcoming. I wish her the best of luck for the remainder of her high school career and can't wait to see how bright her future is. Shelby Garofalo was nominated by Mrs. Candace Mraz. In her nomination of Shelby, Mrs. Mraz writes, Shelby is a true inspiration. She always comes to class with a smile on her face. She had the ability to make everyone around her smile and laugh. Despite the adversities that she has faced, she still perseveres. She works hard and never makes excuses. She has such a good heart and cares about everyone around her. She has worked so hard this year, and I am so proud of her. Namir Graves was nominated by Mr. Mike Schatzman. In his nomination of Namir, Mr. Schatzman writes, Namir has made tremendous strides during his time at Washington Township High School. He has dedicated himself to becoming a better student. Namir has also developed leadership skills and serves as a positive role model for students in the building. Danny Geetens was nominated by Mrs. Roz Gill. In her nomination for Danny, Mrs. Gill writes, "Danny is so positive and outgoing. He motivates everyone around him. He loves to participate, giving 100% effort in everything that he does. He is always willing to share his thoughts, opinions, and experiences. It's so refreshing to have him as a student and hard to believe he is only in 10th grade."
I'm Master Sergeant Hood from ROTC, and I wanted to nominate Abby Kulikowski for People's Choice. Abby, not only are you a great student, but you always come to class with a super attitude as well. And that sets the tone for an awesome ROTC class every day. Additionally, you're one of the most competitive people that I know, maybe even as competitive as me. And I'm so glad you're a part of our program.
During my years at Washington Township, I have encountered many students that have left me with a positive impression. Noah is one of these students. What is unique about Noah is that he is willing to go out of his way and in fact make it his mission to help his fellow classmates feel comfortable and to have an understanding of the material presented in class. Noah also sets goals for himself, and he has a true desire to work hard in order to accomplish these goals. This is a recipe for success. To be able to recognize these factors at such a young age is commendable. Noah, keep up your good work. You're going to continue to impress.
Hi everyone, Miss Cicero here, and this year for the People's Choice Awards, I have selected Kira Knox Bishop and Vincent LaRosa. Kira and Vinny have been making me smile every day since the first day of school last year. They never fail to tell me exactly what they're thinking or feeling, even if it's complaining about absolute value equations. They always keep me on my toes by messaging me pictures of them bored in my class if I were ever absent, making it rain with my task cards, and visiting me every day 7th period this year. I miss you guys so much, and thank you for making my first 2 years here so special. I'll always be Miss Sis even after I get married this summer.
So as a sophomore in Introduction to High School Spanish, I've had the pleasure of getting to know Aaron this year and seeing him stand out as a leader among his peers. Transferring from Philadelphia, Aaron didn't grow up in Washington Township, and that could be an obstacle, but I think for Aaron it's something that allows him to see perspectives beyond his own. He not only thinks about himself, but he sees how his actions and words can influence group dynamics and social discourse. And that heightened degree of awareness is really impressive for someone his age. Moreover, he is constantly acting as a leader in the classroom. His questions that he asks aren't surface level, and they evoke a lot of discussion about underlying linguistic and cultural subjects. He can really talk to his peers or adults with ease, and he's full of charisma, and he's very endearing to all that he encounters. I'm honored to have him as my student this year, and I hope he continues to develop his intellect, gift for communication, and empathy for others. Congrats, Aaron.
I'm nominating Zachary Masney. Zach, I have had the pleasure of being your Spanish teacher for 2 years. I have seen an exceptional growth in your work ethic, maturity, and academic performance. I am very proud of you. I enjoyed starting my first period of the day with your bright smile, upbeat personality, and ready to learn. I truly enjoyed always you telling me, "Buenos dias, señora." You have been so focused this year and have worked so hard that it is really hard not to notice, and it is why I feel that you are very deserving of this award. Zach, you are an incredible young man, and I see a bright future ahead of you. Continue to always give it your best because I believe in you.
Issa, I have nominated you for this year's People's Choice Awards because you have been such a pleasure to have in class these past 2 years. I've watched you grow into a much more confident student and have enjoyed the fact that you will advocate for yourself as for what works best for you, even if it means working in the hallway outside of the classroom. You never hesitate to ask for help, whether it be on your classwork or simply getting a crazy braided knot out of your hair. You are one of a kind. I will miss you. Thank you for being you.
John Palaganis was nominated by Miss Stephanie Tarashi. In her nomination of John, Ms. Tarashi writes, I'm honored to nominate John Palaganis as my People's Choice recipient. As a new teacher in the district, it can be very overwhelming trying to establish yourself to new students. From day one, John's humor and personality helped my transition to WTHS to become much easier. Every day you could count on John to do or say something funny to bring the class together. Although I must admit I did feel bad every time I beat him in ping pong. John, thank you so much for making my first year at WTHS so enjoyable. I can't wait to see your future successes in the classroom, on the ball fields, and in your life after high school. Best of luck in the future.
I am nominating Raymond Rounds. Ray. For the past 2 years, I have had the joy to go on this crazy roller coaster ride of Spanish class. There has never been a dull moment in class with you. I have enjoyed the many moods of Ray, from my grumpy old man to today I'm all in, Mrs. Marioni. This year, there have been many wow moments that have made me very proud of you. Those moments were a reassurance that you are capable of doing whatever you put your mind to. Ray, thank you for being you, for giving me the opportunity to know you, and for sharing with me your mints. Continue being the best version of you because you rock.
I nominated Gavin Sankis for this year's People's Choice Award. Gavin is a mannerly young man who is always sharing his positive energy and offering a helping hand to anyone. His compassion and determination are commendable. Gavin, your radiant personality lights up any room. Keep smiling that beautiful smile. You inspire me.
Allison, your smile radiates when you walk in a room. You are my go-to person for junior ROTC, and you never complain. Your hard work does not go unnoticed, and you are humble and kind. I have no doubt you'll accomplish all your dreams. Thanks again.
Amaya, I have chosen you for this year's People's Choice Award. Quietest student in the classroom, one of the loudest in the cafeteria. Go figure. You play the shy and quiet one, but we know the real truth. I've truly enjoyed being your teacher for these past 2 years, and I hope you're continuing with Spanish again next year. I will miss your smile and your beautiful personality. Stay true to yourself, and I wish you the best.
This year, I have nominated Andrew Yerkes for the 2020 People's Choice Award. Andrew has played a substantial role in the design and upkeep of our lab aquatic ecosystem. He personally designed a tank for our class tadpoles and has enthusiastically taken on the responsibility of caring for them. All of my classes have really benefited and enjoyed all of the work Andrew has done. Thanks, Andrew.
Hi, I'm Miss Donna Pancari, and I'd like to nominate Joey Abrams for a People's Choice Award. Joey's in my freshman English class. He's an incredibly hard worker. He's also incredibly empathetic and thoughtful and conscientious. Whenever we're reading something, he's always the first to point out whether what a character has done is right and good. And I think those are some fantastic qualities, both in a student and a person, and I'm proud to nominate him and proud to have him as my student. Thank you.
Diana Coggins was nominated by Mrs. Jennifer Kraft. In her nomination for Diana, Mrs. Kraft writes, Diana shows positivity in the classroom setting. She is a hard worker and an active participant in class discussions. She is kind to her classmates, often going out of her way to help someone and to lend a hand. She is thoughtful and respectful to her teachers, and she is a joy to have in our class.
Hi there. I'm nominating Ava DeBabo because Ava is smart, she's funny, she's positive, she's compassionate, she's very enthusiastic about learning. She's always full of great observations and great questions and great contributions to her class. And she's a large part of why her class is so successful. In addition to that, I just see what a great friend and fellow student she is, just kind of a great representative of WTHS. And I can't think of anybody more deserving than Ava.
Anwar Drain was nominated by Master Sergeant Richard Harris. Master Sergeant Harris writes about Anwar, a fantastic young man with an infectious attitude who is a pleasure to have in class. That describes Anwar. He always has a kind word for everyone he meets. He is the kind of cadet that other cadets want to be around. His very presence instantly has a positive effect on everyone he comes into contact with. This young man has truly embraced the concepts of our program.
I'm nominating Louis Esposito for the People's Choice Award. Louis, you remind me every day why I decided to become a teacher. You've taught me so much this year, whether you are drawing me intricate details of dinosaurs or elaborate maps of the places in the books that we read. I'm amazed every day of your curiosity and love of learning. You should be proud, Louis. I know I'm proud of you. Good job.
Master Sergeant Richard Harris nominates Eric Evans. In his nomination for Eric Evans, Master Sergeant Harris says, Eric is a cadet who continues to be an asset to the program. As a first-year cadet, he has taken charge and has gotten the job done. From day one, he has set the example for other first-year cadets to emulate. An outstanding cadet who constantly displays the potential to succeed in whatever task he is assigned. That's Eric Evans.
Hi, it's Mrs. Corbley. This year I chose Ava Franco for my nomination for People's Choice Award. I nominated Ava for her positivity, determination, and work ethic. I had the pleasure of having Ava both on the soccer field and in my first period math class. Every day she came to first period with a smile and ready to learn, even if it was first period. I can always count on Ava to help me get through my first period class with her contagious smile and her fun personality. I loved talking to Ava first period daily and catching up on the latest gossip. Ava had a tough year in soccer with her hip injury, but through her determination and positivity, she came to every single practice and game with a smile. I'm so proud that Ava did not let her injury get in the way of her having a fun soccer season with her friends. I'll never forget the Clearview game when I put her on offense and she scored her first goal of the season. It was one of my favorite memories from this year. Keep your positive energy, fun personality, and determination. You can accomplish anything you set your mind to.
Casey Gudzinski and Kaya Popolo were both nominated by Miss Janine O'Connor. In her nomination, Miss O'Connor writes, I'm nominating Casey Gudzinski and Kaya Popolo together. I cannot separate the nomination. Together, they started my day, first period, physical education. It was not the easiest of classes to begin with. Without fail, Casey and Kaya would enter the locker room and start to complain. I would listen and yell back, and they would mumble something snarky, and when I got up and saw their faces, we all just laughed. I could count on them to keep it real and do what I asked or needed. So I took their tudes and gave them mine, and in that, it started our every day with a smile. Thank you, and I miss you both. Charisse Garcia was nominated by Mrs. Donna Pichelli. Mrs. Pichelli writes in her nomination for Charisse. Charisse has been dealing with cancer since 8th grade, but since the beginning of the year, every day, Charisse comes in the health office with a smile on her face and an upbeat, positive attitude. She is an inspiration to me each and every time I am with her. Aaron Higby was nominated by Miss Emily Wardock. In her nomination for Aaron, Miss Wardock writes, I nominated Aaron for his everyday kindness. Aaron always has such a good heart in including others in activities in the classroom and never having the thought to judge anyone. His friendship in the hallways and classroom to others always brings a smile to everyone's face. Michael Lotzi was nominated by Mr. Schatzman. In his nomination for Michael, Mr. Schatzman writes, Michael has made enormous strides as a freshman at Washington Township High School. He is extremely intelligent and he has made positive choices to maximize his potential in the classroom. I'm proud of Michael and I look forward to seeing all the things he's going to accomplish during his time here at WTHS.
Cade, what can I say? You've come a long way, baby. When I first met you a few years ago, you seemed to lack confidence, and to be honest, I was a little worried about you. Fast forward to this year, and a confident, funny, and yes, I'm going to say it, charming young man walked into my classroom. It's difficult to walk into a classroom that is already established and find your place. Not only did you find your place, but we got to watch you grow and see you truly enjoy Spanish. You took the time to make your presentations extra special and had us all rolling on the floor. I can only hope that I have you in class again next year. Oh yeah. Would you like a pack of crackers?
My nominee for the 2020 People's Choice Awards is Cecilia Pettit. Cecilia is a freshman at Washington Township High School and is a member of the ADL and a part of the No Place for Hate committees. She has played a vital role in developing lessons and helping the committee to complete projects. She is a selfless individual who always has a smile and a greeting whenever you see her. Cecilia makes your day brighter just saying good morning. She is what makes Washington Township High School great. Congratulations, Cecilia, and hope to see you soon.
Devani Rathod was nominated by Mr. Mark Wechter. In his nomination for Devani, Mr. Wechter writes, Devani is the epitome of resilience. I've never had a student inspire me as much as Devani has this school year. She has endured major adversity and has come through and is improving every day with a smile on her face. She makes my day every day. Alexis Thompson was nominated by Master Sergeant Richard Harris. Master Sergeant Harris writes in his nomination about Alexis, Alexis possesses a great personality and is an absolute joy to be around. She always has a smile and a kind word each time you see her. Her very presence always has a positive effect no matter where she goes and with whom she meets. Although she may be a Dallas Cowboys fan, she continues to set the example for others to emulate.
Brian, you brighten the end of my day. Thanks for all the help with technology. You are a computer genius, but more importantly, a hard worker who's gracious, humble, and kind. You are consistently there for others to lend a hand. I can't wait to see where your future holds. Go Air Force.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this program. I want to say thank you to all of our staff that took the time to nominate all the amazing students that make our school a better place. Our staff are appreciated as well for their efforts, especially during this difficult time. And while this People's Choice ceremony looks a lot different than years past, one thing holds true. All of our recipients are amazing, and we are so proud of you. You will all be receiving a certificate and a t-shirt, and we will get that to you as soon as we are able. Stay home, stay safe, know that you're loved and know that you're missed, and we will all soon be back together again. Thank you and have a great evening.